Well, first off, that was the worst refereed game I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen so many calls go against a single team. So many big calls that could have changed the outcome of games. I mean, the first interception Mayfield threw was clearly a pass interference. Should never happen. Take away that, take away 7 points. The last one was egregious. That's a pass interference. 1st and 10, us at the 43-yard line. We're going in for a field goal. So unacceptable. The false start that never happened, unacceptable. The 3 face masks they missed, unacceptable. Just so many calls that went against us. I think the NFL really needs to investigate this crew because it's unacceptable. When you have passer, the first interception Mayfield threw, that was clearly 15 yards downfield. He was dragging them. Should Mayfield have thrown the ball? No. But you have to call that play. You have to call the penalty. But the reason we lost, I mean, I will say this, referees, usually that shit evens out, but it didn't. Worst referees I've ever seen. But the reason we lost is because Baker Mayfield threw 4 interceptions. And he got sacked 3 times. This was even worse, if you can believe it. He got sacked 3 times, 2 of them within field goal range that took us out of field goal range on 3rd down for losses like 10 yards. Take away that's 6 points right there we gave up. We would have won the game. But if Baker Mayfield doesn't throw them 4 interceptions, because we were moving the ball up and down the field on Green Bay, up and down the field. If he doesn't throw them 4 interceptions, we win that game by 20. Easily. I said, 34-16? We should have won that. Mayfield cost us the game. There's no doubt in my mind. He played terrible. And Mayfield don't even look like the same quarterback, obviously. His arm looks weak now. It looks like he throws flutter balls. He got nothing into it. And I do blame that on the brace and the whatever. The injury, the brace. Because he's not the same. His arm is not the same. But that's no excuse. If you're going to play with the brace on, then you better play better than have 4 interceptions. You can. So if we had another quarterback in there, even Case Keenum, we win this game. Mayfield cost us the game. You cannot turn the ball over 4 times and then take 3 sacks, 2 of them, which would have gave us 6 points. So that's the bad. Mayfield played terrible. I mean, he played like a rookie. He looked like a rookie out there, and that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. The way he played today was unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. We can cry about the penalties, which at the end of the game, they should have called that. That's unacceptable not to call it. The guy grabbed Donovan Peoples-Jones, pulled him back, and catapulted himself for the interception. So, what amazed me, though, is I think you guys will agree with me. Kevin Stefanski watches my videos. There's no doubt after that game today. Kevin Stefanski watches my videos. Either his son, he probably has sons, they probably said, Dad, look at this guy, because you guaranteed kids go to school, they're probably like, hey, man, this guy hates your father. Guaranteed, he watches my videos. And you know what he did? He did exactly what I told him to do. And I got to commend Kevin Stefanski. He coached a great game. He coached a game like I wanted him to coach all year. Open the offense up, live and die. If your quarterback makes a mistake, keep going. He did exactly what I wanted him to. Just happens that Baker Mayfield shit the bed today. And you know what? Them 2 interceptions on them 2 penalties, right? That should have been called. Then you say you only have 2 interceptions, right? Well, he would have had a good. Only 2 interceptions, not bad. Guess what? He had another 4 or 5 interceptions that they dropped. He should have had like 7 interceptions today. So yeah, we could take away those 2 interceptions. It doesn't matter. He had more that should have been caught that weren't. Mayfield played terrible. No matter how you cut it, he played horrible. But here's the fact. We were moving the ball at will on this team. If Mayfield wasn't a quarterback, we beat that team by 20. Easily. Easily. Kevin Stefanski, I know, watches my videos now, coupled with him watching my videos, coupled with him having to sit at home and watch the game Monday and watch how bad it was to watch as a fan, it had to drive him nuts. He's probably saying, this guy's right. This guy's right. I need to open this offense up. And I know you're going to say, well, he watched the game last year when we beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, our offense looked good when we beat Pittsburgh last year. But Monday, it looked terrible. So I'll give Stefanski all the credit in the world. He did exactly what I wanted. I got to watch an NFL offense, which was fun. The quarterback lost the game for us. The only thing Kevin did wrong is this. We were getting chunk yardage at the end of the game. I mean, we were getting chunk yardage the whole game on the ground. On the ground, they couldn't stop us. They knew we were running. They still couldn't stop us. And I felt with a minute left, 3 timeouts, I thought Kevin Stefanski should have went to Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson. I thought you'd give the ball to them, pitch out, whatever, and we'll go down. I had confidence in going down and winning the game. I truly thought that. I looked at the field goal kicker right before we got the ball back in the last possession we had. Mike Pureford said something when he laughed. The kicker laughed. I said, he'll make the field goal. I wasn't even worried about him, so I knew he'd make the field goal. I figured get down to the 30-yard line, 47-yard field goal, we'll win the game. I truly thought that, and I think if you would have ran, we would have done it. I mean, especially after how bad Mayfield was throwing on that drive, because he had an interception 3 plays before that interception that the guy dropped. So I truly thought you should have just said, you know what, the run game, they can't stop. You had 3 timeouts left, run. That's what I thought. But then again, in his defense, if you got a quarterback that wants big money, you got to be able to make that throw there. And it didn't happen. Now, in that case, though, it was a flag that should have happened. But even so, should have ran the ball there. You got to run the ball there. That's the only bad thing I thought Kevin did. We were gunning him with the run, and he didn't do it. But you know what? I got to watch a game today that was fun to watch. Even I watched our team go up and down the field and stop themselves. Green Bay wasn't stopping us. Baker was stopping us. So it's nice to know that Kevin Stefanski, as I truly thought Kevin. Now, Kevin, I'm going to talk to you for a minute because I know you watch. Kevin, I truly thought you were clueless on how the NFL games go. I truly thought you didn't know what you were doing. I truly thought that you were so stubborn you wouldn't open up the game. And you know what? I think you were, because you've watched my videos all year. But I think coupled with you having to sit at home and watch it in person, how bad it was Monday, and then coupled with my videos, I think you finally said, this guy's right. And I give you credit. You did exactly what you called the game like I would have. You did good. And like I say, you didn't lose this game. Even though you should have ran at the end of the game, I'm not going to blame you for it. You felt Mayfield would make the throw, and apparently the referees didn't think grabbing a guy, pulling him backwards was blatant enough for a pass interference call. So you did good. There's a silver lining. That's the silver lining. I now know that Kevin Stefanski can actually call an NFL game. I now will say the only problem I have is I wish you would have done this earlier in the season. Boy, we could have them 4 losses. If you would have called that same game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens, we would have blew both teams out, and you know it. You know it. If your counterpart would have called that same game against the Oakland Raiders with Nick Mullins, we would have blew the Raiders out Monday night. You know it. So you got to bear some responsibility for this season losing. We're not making the playoffs. There's no way. But if there is some fluke that happens where we do get in the playoffs, I'm going to tell you something right now. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was a black spider. Hold up. Oh, no. That thing was huge. Woo! Had to get rid of that spider. It was a fucking ugly-ass black spider went in the chamber. But anyway, by you not calling them type of play calls earlier in the season, it cost us. And now it's come back to bite us. But anyway, now I want to make some comments. The silver lining is that you know what you're doing now. Here's my thing now, Kevin. I don't want you to change anything up for Pittsburgh. You run that exact same play calling. And I don't know if you see my video earlier. I did say, if Baker struggled, and it looked like he did earlier, to pull him. Maybe you didn't see it. But if you would have put in Nick Mullins, which that's another thing I blame you for, Kevin. You brought in Case Keenum. It's obvious that after watching Case Keenum play against Denver, you realize that this ain't the same guy in Minnesota. And Mayfield actually with one arm's better than him. So I wish we had Nick Mullins over Case Keenum. It's time to let Case Keenum go. I know you like him, but you got to let him go. He doesn't help this team anyway. Nice guy, but Nick Mullins is better. But anyway, what I want to say is when we play Pittsburgh next week, I want you to run the same thing. Same philosophy. Trust me, we'll win. That's what wins in this league. And as bad as your quarterback played, we were 3 plays away from winning this game. And we should have won this game. So I want you to keep up that same type of play calling and intensity the rest of the year and moving forward. And guess what? We'll bring it home next year. What I've seen that was great, though, is as bad as we were defensively with, like, guys out, that's the great thing I've seen about this team. We have so much depth, and they play within this system. And it's amazing. We held Aaron Rodgers to 24 points. with our defense being on the field most of the game because of Mayfield turning the ball over. So let that sink in. Our defense was on the field over and over and over. They only gave up 24 points. And we had a chance to win the game at the end at the 50-yard line, and Mayfield throws an interception. Let that sink in. Our defense played unbelievable. We were missing, 6 starters off the defense. Imagine when everyone's healthy. By the way, MJ Stewart, big ups to you. You played like a fucking beast again this week. MJ Stewart is a stud. People wanted to run him out of town last year. The guy's a stud. So that is something to look at, future building block. Now, Kevin, I got to say, I'm back to. I was going to call Haslam up and tell him to get rid of you because there's no chance. But I'm back to supporting you because I know now that you'll change your ways when you see firsthand of it. It really did take you to watch it Monday, and my videos weren't enough. But when you've seen it firsthand Monday from your house as a fan, doesn't it suck when you watch something as a fan, Kevin? You sit there and you're like, what the fuck? What's he doing? That's what I've been doing with you. But today, even when you had them calls at the end of the game not running, I wasn't even mad. But usually I'm fucking so mad at you, I just fucking can't stand you. But now, me and you are friends again. It's good. Because now I want you to coach next year. And I don't even care if you call plays next year. Don't even care. As long as you call a game like you did today, I don't care. Your play calling's fine. Just don't ever go back into that fucking game managing bullshit. I don't like it. Like I said, we lost the game because you know as well as I do. If you would have went out there with that game manager type bullshit, well, you know what? Here's the thing. I hate to say it, but we might have won that game today with that type of philosophy because Green Bay sucks their defense. We probably would have won the game. You know what? Let's pick your poison. But I know you didn't expect Baker to fucking throw 4 interceptions. You know what? If you would have done your old style where you just hand the ball off and have him manage the game, we would have probably beat that team today. You probably would have. So, in essence, I might be responsible for this. Now, you know what? I'm not responsible for this loss, and neither are you. I can't help it. Your quarterback, who's the number 1 draft pick, can't throw the ball he threw the ball to the other team 4 times. He should have had 9 interceptions. Me and you aren't at fault in this, Kevin. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's your quarterback's fault. So let's get that out of the way. Would we have won this game if you would have had him be a game manager for the whole game and run Chubb and Darius Johnson? Absolutely. We would have beat him by fucking 10. But it's not our fault. Our quarterback, who was drafted number 1, should have been able to fucking make the appropriate throws today, but he didn't. So he's the reason we lost. We're not taking blame for nothing, Kevin. But yeah, I want you to call plays next year. And if you move on from Mayfield, I have full confidence in whoever you bring in. I just don't. You know as well as I do, Kevin, that Lake got some vicious wins, okay? And you got to bring someone in there with a stronger arm than Case Keenum. Got to be stronger than Case. Because that weather will eat up any quarterback with a weak arm. So, just get me to next season. Anyway, so I love the team. I love the way they play. The run game's great. In fact, I'll be honest with you. I know people like Chubb, and I know we can get a lot. If we can get a first, who knows? Or a second, I'll trade in Chubb right away. I like Chubb, but we don't need him. We have Kareem Hunt and Ernest Johnson. They're just as good, if not better. Chubb played great today. But I'm telling you right now, we don't need him as opposed to needing them other 2 guys. And if we can build our team better, so you might want to look into that too. Also, I do want you to say something to the NFL about them the flags not called, because that's ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. Also, I want to say now, Kevin, look, I like you again, but no, you didn't sign Hooper. That's all. But you starting Hooper, although Njoku didn't do much today, but every time Hooper catches the ball, although he played good today, he falls down. I don't know. I'm done with it. Whatever. Me and you are in good terms. I don't want to ruin it. But we lost the game. Mayfield played like shit. The referees were terrible. And you know, it's weird. If Kevin would have, if you would have coached the way you normally coach, we would have won that game, no doubt. But like I said, it ain't our fault because if Baker don't fucking throw interceptions 4 times, we win the game easy, Kevin. So whatever. It is what it is. We weren't going to do nothing anyway. But if we do make the playoffs, look out. Nobody wants to face this defense. I'll tell you that right now. COVID happened to fuck us at the wrong time. It is what it is. But I can't believe I'm so pumped up for next year. I truly didn't think this guy had any clue. Hey, I'm talking to Stefanski. I truly didn't think this guy knew how to call plays. I swear to God, I thought he was an idiot. No offense, Kevin, I truly did. But I thought he was an idiot because he just didn't open the offense up. You see what he did today? He opened it up. We looked good. It was so refreshing to look like a regular NFL offense until Baker shit the fucking bed. We'll talk about that another day, Kevin. But anyway, yeah, the Browns got beat. Should have won our last 2 games. We didn't. And it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But the silver lining is my coach can actually call a game. I didn't think he could, but he can. So, and Baker, like I said, maybe you ought to spend a little less time trimming your beard up before a primetime game. I noticed you didn't have a problem doing that. Every time a primetime game's on, you ever notice that, Kevin? He fucking shaves before the game. Like a little bitch. Get rid of him. But, yeah, Baker shit the bed today. Unacceptable. Referees were terrible. Defense is great. Offensive line played great. Again, Joe Bitonio's a fucking stud. Hey, Joe Bitonio could be a Hall of Fame left tackle. That guy's that good. And we had a lot of injuries this year. Bad coaching earlier. No offense, Kevin, but bad coaching earlier in the year that cost us 4 games. You know, we turned the corner at the wrong time. So whatever you do next week, Kevin, I'm confident that we'll win the last 2 games, and we don't make the playoffs. Say next is always next year. I'm used to it now. Cincinnati's the new Cleveland Browns right now. Cincinnati's us from last year. Now, whether they sustain what we did last year, win a playoff game, I don't know. I don't think they've won a playoff game since the 80s. That's going to be something to see. But I think Cincinnati wins that division now because Baltimore has to. They got to with their 3rd string quarterback tomorrow. So anyway, that's the video. I'm not even mad. I seen a good football game today.